Hey, 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 welcome everybody. Welcome to Friday. So happy Friday. This is Black Coffee, Honey and Grits. Ladies, we are the Black Coffee, our lips drip with honey, and sometimes we got some grit. This week there was a lot of grit, but we always have sass, we always have class, and we've got all that ass. So welcome to another one of our Fridays. And I'm torn today. I'm leading the conversation, however, and I was torn with whether or not I wanted to still be speaking about the election. Are we tired of the conversation? I just feel like it's still very, very heavy. I don't know how heavy I want to get into. And I've never been into politics, and I find myself like still distressed, but not in a bad way, just in a way that um just I've been enlightened. I've always known the way America is, but this was a stark slap in the face. This was really real. So I kind of, ladies, I don't know. I needed to bring that up to just get that off my chest for those of you who are listening, to say that we're not ignoring what's happening in the country. I just don't know if I want to dive in. I want to dive into something a lot more light. But did anybody want to say anything about what I just said? Or maybe we should introduce ourselves.
Yeah, I'll listen, y'all. Y'all know who I am. I'm Dr. Jamesia, the nurse practitioner extraordinaire, and I feel kind of like you feel, Carmel. I'm less upset because I've been able to just kind of course, accept what's happening and know that this has happened several times before. Being able to have conversations with, my beautiful Black women, and just being de-escalated and just reminded that we've been through this before.
Yeah.
We've survived the Bushes, we've survived the Reagan, we've survived Trump, we've survived so many things. Um, I mean, we can go deeper, of course,
Of
but
course.
we've survived and we will continue to survive. And, this is just our Goliath, and we're good to go. So we're going to be fine. And we're just going to keep moving and pushing. And, I just, I, I'm not as upset as I was. I'm just, it just makes me more focused on what I need to do as a Black woman.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll jump in and introduce myself. Still dealing with my whatever head cold this thing is, but I'm Maisha, also known online as Devi Maisha, and I'm a teacher of sacred sexuality and sex magic. And for me, all the more this strengthens the teachings that I have for Black women. Like, no shock, no surprise. We have not come this far. This country is still just as racist as it's always been. White people gone white. And I'm really clear on my mission to work with Black women who are ready to wake up to the fullness of their power, because it is it is clear from the numbers what we can do when we come together. And I think we just need to divest a little bit from the white man system. And I'm real militant anyway. I'm just more militant now. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I feel. Oh, look at that, Felicia, go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And Felicia says, I really feel like it's a lot of racism, and people do not want a Black person to be president. Black person meaning a woman, but we can do everything else. But they don't want us to be a president. Yeah, and on top of that, Miss Felicia, they don't want the president to be a Black woman first before a white woman, of course.
Mm.
And I'll say,
That's
like,
that's you know.
yeah, I wasn't, and when everybody was galvanizing for the election, I'm sure to some it might have, who know me, it might have looked like Maisha's just not that interested. It wasn't that I wasn't that interested. It's just that I knew what the outcome was going to be. It wasn't about being pessimistic. It's just knowing this country. Hillary couldn't get elected. She was a white woman. It just, I knew that it wasn't. I loved seeing us excited and ready to go, and I was just like, the disappointment, man, because it is not. going to happen. And I feel for us as Black women because we go all in and put all in, and I think we should continue to do that and just really just do it for us. It's time for us to go back to creating our own schools, us to go back to creating our own things. That's just how I feel about it, because we need to be focused on us instead of trying to filter into other people's spaces instead of other people's tables.
I don't disagree with you, Maisha. I don't. However, I feel like a lot more people kind of had that, oh, we're not going to win. Hillary didn't do it. And so Kamala's Black and multiracial, she's not going to do it. I feel like if more people said, you know what, let us really stand behind this woman. Jimmy Kimmel, I think that's his name. He went out on Wednesday and he says, hey, it's Wednesday, November 6th. Are you voting today? And the people he asked didn't even know that voting happened yesterday. He even asked people, are you going to be watching? The two of those people, he maybe asked like 8 people. 2 of them were Black people, didn't even know. And one guy was just like, who's running? The Black guy, who's running? And Jimmy Kimmel was like, I'm done. I'm done. So I feel like there were probably thousands of people who didn't even care to that extent. Not saying that you don't care, Maisha, but I feel like if more people cared, if more people came out, if more people supported, that energy, that playing field would have been a little bit more level. I feel
she would have gotten closer. But I think people just really need to understand there's still this optimism that our abuser will somehow come through. And I, you know what I'm saying? I just don't know.
I hear you on that too, Maisha. I'm still optimistic that it will happen. I'm still optimistic.
It will happen.
I am still optimistic. And I don't feel like, I never feel like it will never happen. I don't want to take on that posture. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I said America's not ready for it.
Not yet. It will happen, but it's just, it wasn't now. That's all. I'm not saying it will never happen.
Yeah. And and so, I was trying to, there was a group of ladies, like I told you guys, we got together and we we got together and we talked and all of this and all that. And we kind of were talking about pinpointing what's about to happen. And for me, this is kind of big because his whole plan, he has like 3 major things that he's going to do that he says off the bat. Cut taxes for who? Maybe the middle class is what he's saying, but mostly for the wealthy. He's going to deregulation, which if you guys don't already know, I work for the government and those jobs are going to be slashed. And then tariffs. And I guess, in a way that could be positive for someone who has a huge business and who has a lot of goods here in America and uses American made everything. But where are we not using, like Walmart, going to Walmart, all that stuff is made in China, Vietnam, Indonesia. So how do you like what? Like if there are tariffs, that means prices are going to go up.
That is correct. Unless the plan is to bring, which I personally would love it if those jobs are brought back here. I don't like the fact that all of my customer service and everything is overseas. I don't like that as an American. I know that companies do that to cut costs. I don't like it. There are Americans here that need jobs. Now, if the flip side of that is going to be that people are going to be paid a living wage to do those same things, great. Don't know if that's going to happen, though, right? So that remains to be seen. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., I am a fan of some of the things that he's in favor for. Will they be implemented? I don't know. So that remains to be seen. Now that this is where we are, to your point, Dr. Jamisi, it's like, all right, now let's educate ourselves on what's coming and how do we best maneuver with what's going to happen and the policies that may be implemented. He already named his chief of staff, and let's see where he goes, from there.
Yeah. So and saying what I said about his major plans that he will implement very soon, so that he can show that he's done what he said he's going to do right away. Luckily for me, I'm going to retire soon, so not everybody will. Mainly, Black people have used good government jobs
That's right.
to move forward. So we won't really have that much of an opportunity now. Will I see that in my lifetime? I don't know, but I know my grandkids will. So that's all I was saying. So Raider Steeler fan, did you want me to read this, Carmel?
Oh, he's enjoying lunch. Enjoy your lunch, Raiders.
Okay.
Basically, he's like, and today's Friday.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, to the point, we've actually been through worse as
Yeah.
Black people, and we always find a way to make it through. So I'm glad we've had our moment of feeling what we were feeling, and really the grief of the fact that this country that we have literally nursed, literally birthed, literally created, because it was our bodies that were the vehicle to create more workers, that this country that we have given blood, sweat, and tears to unwillingly is still like, F y'all. And there's grief to be had there, right? We don't trust you. We don't really like you. There's grief to be had there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now let's move forward and see what we can do. Hey, Maurice.
Hey, Maurice.
Hello.
So he says, okay, I promised myself I would be 100% honest after this election. That said, oh Lord.
Oh, Lord.
More is coming. More is coming. I really am a fan of us building our own schools, though, and I think we can do it. I think that's something that needs to start there. I think we need to start educating our own children and preparing them with civics and other things. I think this is an opportunity for more of us to get involved in fields that we normally have not been involved in. I think this is a great time for us to look at creating venture capitalist funds that word things in a way that don't get it shut down like they already did to the one in the women-owned venture capitalist fund. I think this is a time for us to start investing in our community, purchasing buildings, creating housing. These are the things that we can do.
And that sounds really good, right? I hear that, and we're of around the same age. That's more grassroots. Let's do it. Let's be cooperative. Get it done. I don't know that our children are of that same cloth.
That's what I was going to say, Maisha. How do you have so much faith that's going to happen?
And we are not getting even out of the house to bond in those ways as a real community. Not like we used to. It's a different thing. So I'm thinking we have to, I hear what you're saying. I just don't know that we'll see that like that, Maisha.
Yeah. And these are the choices we have to make. Mm-hmm. That's all it is these are the choices we have to make. Either we decide that we're going to do that like we once did, because we did once do that, or we don't, and we still keep relying on the same systems that have proven themselves to not be very beneficial to us, to keep letting us down. So really, yeah.
So who's our Mandela? Who's our Martin Luther King?
We don't have that. And that's so funny you say that. I was thinking about that today. We don't have that. And we have to say, we don't have that. Let's come together in community. We cannot look for a leader to save us. We still are looking for a savior of sorts. No one is coming to save Black people but Black people. And we have to decide to do it in groups and clusters and communities, however we do it. And we just need to decide that we're going to do it. All right, Maurice has his all his comments already.
The election was probably 90% the result of fear. There's great fear there's great fear over a woman being the American president, 100%. Fears are pregnancy, menopause, and menstruation.
Yep.
A lot of men are terrified of a woman with her finger on the nuclear button dealing with any of those things. They're
Yep.
too emotional.
Oh, and he also says we have to evolve to the point where we're no longer fearful. When could that happen?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
and yes.
Yeah.
Just not ready yet.
We're just not ready. And I don't know how ready we are to do the things that you suggested, Maisha, for a leader to come forth, for us to build our own schools and our own communities. I feel like if we couldn't even get our own people together to see Kamala through.
We did, though. We did pretty darn
We
good.
did.
We
That's
did.
the thing. We did show
We
up.
did.
I'm going to keep saying this
We
because
did.
there's
We
this
showed
idea
up.
that she didn't win because we didn't show up. She didn't win because white people voted for Trump.
Did I
keep
send
screaming
you
that.
those statistics?
Yes.
We showed up. Yeah.
She didn't win because white people voted for Trump. We have to put the onus where the onus is. This was not us. We did it. As for our own schools, so I went to an African-centered school. Some folks got together in the 70s and they decided they were going to create a school. I went there. They had a high school. Eventually they got shut down because you need more funding, right? Because these are private schools. But it's possible. It can happen. I started a homeschooling co-op because I didn't want my kids to be around all the white kids. So got together with some moms. It's still going strong 20 years later. Black children educated by people learning things, by Africans learning about African history, still happening. Yes, this absolutely can happen. It has to happen in smaller communities. We just have, yes, and Latino men too. We just have to make a decision that we are greater than being part of white American society. And I don't know that we're willing to make that decision yet. I'm here for a boycott. I'm here for, seriously, like, I'm here for a holiday boycott. How many Black folks gonna do that? How many Black people are going to be willing to, and that's where the onus is on us, are going to be willing to say to their kids, you know what? This is greater than your gifts this year. We're not. And until we are ready to do that, we will keep getting disappointed by a system that is going to say, you can come in the door, but just don't come too far in. So like I said, we have to decide what we're going to do. It doesn't matter who's in office. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I'm here for the boycott. People let me know. No marching, no protests. That's not going to work. That doesn't work. That's just people crying.
We got to hit them with the money, huh?
Hit them with the money. I'm down.
Only way this country understands anything. The reason why people sat at the front of the bus wasn't because the white folks in Montgomery said, oh, they should get a spot in the front. They were hemorrhaging money.
Yeah.
Hemorrhaging money. And they had no choice but to change the law. The only way things are going to shift in this country is if we make them hemorrhage money. But they already have us so caught up in the loop of consumerism that it's going to be too difficult for us to pull away. Who's going to stop buying Nike and Adidas and Pumas? That's where we are right now. So until we're willing to do that, I'm going to just nod my head. And I don't really buy that stuff.
Yeah, same.
I hate that I have to have an iPhone. If I could find another company and there is that wasn't this, I would do it. Black banks, y'all. Pull out of Bank of America, pull out of Capital One, pull out of TD Bank. Black banks. Are we willing to do these things? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right, I'm quiet.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you. You asked a lot of valid questions there. All right, I'm ready to go off topic and just change the topic.
All right, cool. So what y'all got going on?
Yeah,
what are you doing this weekend?
What am I doing this weekend? I feel like I'm really busy this weekend. Things are moving along. I'm doing this certification and things of that sort. So I feel like my schedule's pretty packed with that stuff. Setting myself up for a masterclass that I'm going to have in a couple of weeks. Setting myself up. I'm working on my signature program, and just things are moving forward. So I'm excited about it. My weekend is going to be jam packed with that type of stuff, but I'm really looking forward to it. So it's good. How about you all? Dr. J, what you got going on this weekend?
Same kind of thing. I've got some continuing education piled on up, and I actually enjoy continuing education. So I'm going to just hunker down and get my continuing education going. I don't have any speaking events going on right now. I'm going to do that and hopefully get most of that done or completed, because they give us bonuses when we finish certain things. So I'm looking forward to a couple bonuses. So
nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, similarly, same. Back at work, started working for the machine. As we talk about all of this. And so, yeah, I've got a lot of training to do around financial and banking laws, and I'm trying to test out of some of the training because I really don't want to learn about this stuff all over again. But back at it, and so yeah, I'll be doing a lot of continuing education this weekend as I prepare for the tax season that is coming up and all of the changes that may come with that. Oh, the joy.
A lot of deregulation.
Oh, the joy.
But that doesn't start as early as now, does it?
No.
Okay. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
No, go ahead. But
I was going to say, but you have to understand, he is in their ear.
Yeah.
He still has a lot of power, and they still are listening to him. So, and they know that he's about to be their boss. So, just saying.
I don't know what, the year hasn't ended yet. So I don't know what the IRS is going to decide to do, but I'm sure we'll find out come the first week of January what some of the changes are. And let me say this to people now. If you have not taken a look at your W-4, please go take a look at it and discuss it with your accountant or tax professional before you file your taxes for this year.
What are we looking for?
Because there are a lot of people who did not get back the money they were expecting because the way you fill it out has changed. It's tricky. It's not. It's a little confusing. So sit with a tax professional and make sure that your W-4 is going to yield you the best result, whether you're getting back a return, a refund, or not. That way you don't come and go and why am I only getting back $300 when normally I got back $900? Because that's what's happening to a lot. That's what happened last year. So let's see what happens this year. All that child income, those earned income credits, child tax credits that Kamala was going to put forth. Let's see what happens is all I'm saying. Hey, Raiders Steeler fan. Above all, some of us need to stop choosing candidates out of emotions and feelings and look at the policies that can benefit us no matter the party and gender. Agreed.
But a lot of sensationalism happens in life about everything, about what we're going to have for lunch.
Oh my God, yeah. Look, that dude is he's a charlatan. He's a performer, and he performed well. He
performed very well.
I'm not mad at him for doing what he did. I'm looking at American people like,
for real.
Oh, look at y'all. I'm looking at the people. I'm not looking at him. Snake oil salesmen can come through and do whatever. They can't make sales unless people purchase. Maurice said, have y'all realized Inauguration Day is on MLK Day? Listen, if I would start to have that spiritual type of conversation with people, I know Black folks ain't ready for it. But listen, there's a.
Maurice, I haven't even had my TV on, so I haven't even started thinking of any of that. So
the fact that it is on MLK Day.
Yeah, but I am now, sir.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
It's like Malcolm X said, the chickens are coming home to roost.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm here for it. I got popcorn. I'm just building a lifeboat because I ain't going down on this shit. But I'm here for them to just be like, what is happening right now?
Oh yeah.
Like we've been through it. We'll be all right. I'm here for them to be like, what is going on?
Just another year, just another election. This is the norm. But for them, they're going to be feeling it for sure. They don't even realize it.
Yeah. What I have to research is something that I heard, and when I hear things, I have to research them. So I haven't researched it yet, but you all may want to research this for yourself. Whoever's listening, is that when the New Deal came out initially, Black folks didn't get any of that money. FDR, as wonderful as he was, none of that money was for Black people. And as soon as there was an idea to give money to Black folks, all of the white people and the people who were not white, well, the Irish were not considered white, Jews were not considered white, all of those people came together. And now all of a sudden they were all white, and it was like, oh, no, we don't want this. And there was free college in this country until Black folks started taking advantage of it. The CUNY University system here in New York was free until Black people started going to school. And then there was tuition attached to it. So, and that was in the late 60s, 70s. And I'm sure Maurice could probably attest to some of this too. So I'm saying all this to say, this country has never had our best interest in mind. As soon as we start benefiting, something gets shifted or changed so that we cannot. The GI Bill, the housing, all of that, when people came back from World War II, Black folks could not get it. My grandfather came back. He could not get a house because he was Black. And so they moved all the Black folks into public housing, all the middle class Black people. But they couldn't get houses out on Long Island because nobody would give to them. They couldn't get houses in Queens because they were Black, even though they had just fought for this country. So I just need folks to understand that if you see benefits going out, as soon as it starts to benefit us, it will be pulled right back. Mm-hmm. Nothing has changed. Maurice said he's really ready for the aliens to come and get me. We've already talked about that, sir. You let me know because my bag is packed. I got my passport. My kids are like, let's go. They were having a conversation the other day about which country would
Lord.
Your son too?
Oh Lord. Carmel, we about what time is it?
It's about time. It's about time for us to say happy weekend, everybody.
Oh, wait. One more point from Maurice. He said, to that point, Maisha, the best way to get gun control passed is for Black folks to arm themselves in mass. I'm telling you, if every Black person went out to get a gun, the gun laws would change. If every Black person went out and got life insurance, listen, that's how it works around here. He's right.
Well, that's an interesting strategy. I mean,
that's right.
It's an interesting strategy. So it's one of those, what is that? Jedi mind trick 'em.
That is. It is.
Oof. All right. Well, yeah, you know what? Thanks, everybody. We touched on some important topics. Tried to keep it as light as possible because I don't know how much Carmel can take. I want to say thank you. And have a happy weekend. Check us out. This was Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits at lunchtime Friday. Raider still, I hope you're still enjoying your lunch. We're usually here. Thanks, Dayton. We're here Mondays at 6:30 p.m., Wednesdays 6:30 p.m., and Fridays 11:30-ish a.m. So check us out on Monday. And meanwhile, subscribe to our YouTube channel and find us on Facebook, Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits, and join our private Facebook group there. So with that, have a beautiful weekend.
Bye.
Bye.